Welcome to the podcast series, Small Business Survival Conversations. Through our weekly conversations, we hope to provide you with strategies and insights, knowledge and expertise to enlighten you as you work to build and grow your business.
Hello, go-getters and dream chasers. Welcome to another empowering episode of Monday Morning Motivation with Anna Steinfest. I'm your host, Anna, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today. Before we dive into today's topic, I want you to take a moment and think about your journey as an entrepreneur or business owner. Think about the challenges you've overcome, the victories you've celebrated, and yes, even the criticism you faced. Hold on to that thought because today we're tackling a subject that resonates with every successful individual. Why success attracts critics and why you should keep going. That's what we'll be talking today. Now, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you've just launched a new product or service. You've poured your heart and soul into it, worked countless hours, and finally, it's out there in the world. Sales are coming in, customers are raving, and you're riding high on the wave of success. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, the critics emerge. They question your pricing. They doubt your methods. They suggest you're selling out or getting too big for your britches. Sound familiar? If you're nodding your head right now, you're not alone. This scenario plays out time and time again for successful entrepreneurs and business owners. But why? Why does success seem to attract critics like moth to a flame? Let's break it down. First, we need to understand a fundamental truth about human nature. People are naturally drawn to success, but when they see someone rise above average, there is often an instinctive urge to criticize. It's a complex psychological phenomenon rooted in various factors: envy, fear of change, and sometimes a misguided attempt to protect what they perceive as the status quo. Think about it this way. When you climb to the top of a hill, you become visible to everyone in the valley below. Your success puts you in the spotlight, and with that visibility comes scrutiny. The higher you climb, the more people will notice you, for better or for worse. Now, I want you to lean in close because this next part is crucial. The critics, as loud and as numerous as they may seem, are not the ones doing the hard work. They're not ones taking risks, making tough decisions, or pushing the boundaries of what's possible. As the incredible Theodore Roosevelt once said in his famous Man in the Arena speech, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds." Let that sink for a moment. You, my friend, are the one in the arena. You are the one taking the risks, facing the challenges, and making things happen. The critics, they're in the stands. And while their voices might be loud, they're not the ones creating, building, or innovating. This brings us to another brilliant quote, this time from my favorite author, Oscar Wilde, who said, "The critic is one who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing." Isn't that the truth? Critics often focus on service level details without understanding the depth of what you've created or the journey you've taken to get there. The presence of critics is often a sign that you're doing something right. It means you're making waves, challenging norms, and pushing boundaries. In other words, you're growing beyond average, and that growth attracts attention, both positive and negative. Consider this. If you're not receiving any criticism at all, it might be a sign that you're playing it too safe. You might be staying within your comfort zone, avoiding risks, and as a result, limiting your potential for growth and success. So, in other way, criticism can be a useful indicator that you are on the right track. Let me share a couple of real-life examples to illustrate this point. First, there is Tim, a client of mine, who runs a successful landscaping business. As Tim's company grew, expanding into new neighborhoods and winning larger contracts, he began hearing negative comments. Some people said his prices were too high, while others suggest he was getting too big for his own good. Now, Tim could have let these comments shake his confidence. He could have lowered his prices, scaled back his ambitions, or even considering giving up. But you know what? He chose a different path. Instead of letting the critics dictate his actions, Tim focused on what he knew best, delivering quality service. He doubled down on his marketing efforts, invested in better equipment, and hired more skilled workers. The result? Today, Tim's business is thriving more than ever. He's known as the go-to landscaper for high-end properties in his area, and his company is growing year over year. And those critics? Well, they're still on the sidelines while Tim continued to soar. But let's not stop there. Consider the story of Sarah, a tech entrepreneur who developed an innovative app for mental health support. When she first launched, traditional therapists criticized her approach, claiming that technology could never replace human interaction in mental health care. The criticism was harsh, and at times Sarah doubted herself. But instead of giving up, she used the feedback constructively. She refined her app, collaborated with mental health professionals to enhance its features, and conducted rigorous studies to prove its effectiveness. Fast forward 2 years, and Sarah's app is now being used by thousands of people who might not otherwise have access to mental health support. She didn't let the critics stop her. Instead, she used her skepticism as fuel to make her product even better. These stories teach us valuable lessons about handling criticism on the path of success. Let's break it down into some key takeaways for you today. Number one, don't fear criticism. Embrace it. Remember, the more successful you become, the more critics you'll attract. Take it as a sign that you're doing something right, that you're making an impact. Use constructive criticism to improve and let the rest roll off your back. Number two, stay laser focused on your vision. Critics aren't in the arena like you are. The opinions, while sometimes loud, shouldn't distract you from your goals. Keep your eyes on the prize and your energy directed towards your vision. Number 3, surround yourself with support. Find other successful business owners, mentors. As you know, I'm big on mentoring, or join a community that encourages and uplifts you. Your environment plays a crucial role in your mindset and success. Create a circle of positive and mutual support. Number 4, use criticism as a growth tool. When faced with criticism, ask yourself, is there something I can learn from this? Sometimes critics might point out blind spots you've missed. So just check. Use valid points to refine your approach and strengthen your business. And number 5, and that is one of the most important one, remember why you started. In moments of doubt, reconnect with your initial passion and purpose. Why did you start this journey? What impact do you want to make? Let these answers guide you through the noise of criticism. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this powerful thought. Success attracts critics, but only you have the power to define your journey and achieve great things. As you move forward this week, I encourage you to keep climbing, keep pushing, and let the critics remain on the sidelines. You're not in this journey to please everyone. You're here to build something meaningful, to make a difference, and to reach your full potential. So go out there and show the world what you're made of. And remember, the next time you face criticism, take a deep breath and say to yourself, I'm not just in the arena, I'm owning it. This has been Monday Morning Motivation with Anna Steinfest. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week for more inspiration and practical advice to fuel your entrepreneurial journey. Until then, keep dreaming big, taking bold action, and rising above the critics. You've got this.
You've been listening to the Small Business Survival Conversation podcast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode. In the meantime, hook up with us on our Facebook group at Small Business Survival Tools and Tips. Till next time, thank you for listening.